Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
Now we begin the English language transmission from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
우리는 present mixed colors. Fourth gender 김일성. Soviet General Kim Jong-il. Respected Kim Jong-un, First Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, First Chairman of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK, and Shipping Commander of the Korean People's Army, guided the test of Super Precision Tactical Guided Missile, which has been newly developed at the latest level. She was accompanied by Hwang Jong-soo and other commanding officials of armed forces organs. He acquainted himself with the tactical and technical data of the new missile at the Central Observation Post and gave an order to launch. The missile flew up into the sky, trailing fierce flames. The launch proved that the scientific and technical capacity of the tactical guided missile has no deviation. The Super Precision Tactical Guided Missile is another proud success achieved by our defense scientists and workers of the munitions industry in the implementation of the Paris policy on making precision light, unmanned, and intelligent an equipment. Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un expressed great satisfaction with the results of the test firing and the belief that the officials and workers of the defense science and industry would make more highly precision tactical guided arms for firmly taking initiative by correct preemptive attack in any operation and better of modern warfare without forgetting the expectation of the party and people, and presented new tasks of defense science and technology. The great leader Kim Jong-il's famous work, The Democratic People's Republic of Korea is a future-oriented socialist state with invincible might, was recently brought out in book form by the Alfred Publishing House of Spain, and Our Socialism Centered on the Masses Shall Not Perish by the NK Publishing House in Enugu of Nigeria. His famous work, The Single Revolutionary Line, is the great revolutionary line of our era and an ever-victorious banner of our revolution, was posted by the Russian Khabarovsk territorial internet news Khavinfo.ru on the 17th. The internet news blogged a photograph of Kim Jong-il in his revolutionary activities. The Malaysian Committee for Remembering President Kim Il-sung was inaugurated on June the 24th. Speaker at the inaugural ceremony said the remembrance period will be set between June the 24th and July the 9th, and political and cultural events held during the period to praise the noble revolutionary life and immortal exploits of President Kim Il-sung. Meetings, roundtable talks, lectures, Kim Jong-il and DPRK photo, book and handicraft exhibitions and film shows recently took place in Russia, Peru, Mexico, Dominica, the Czech Republic and Nepal on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the great leader Kim Jong-il's start of work at the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. Hung on the front walls of the exhibition venues were smiling portraits of the great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, and more than 140 Kim Jong-ils were on display. Also seen in the venues of the events were photographs showing the undying achievements of the great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il and respected Kim Jong-un. Exhibited there were their famous works, publications, interviews filmed in Korea, and handicrafts showing the wisdom and talents of the Korean people. The DPRK documentary, Fireworks of a Thriving Nation, was screened at the film shows. 40 newspapers featured the 50th anniversary of the great leader Kim Jong-il's start of work at the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. The Russian newspaper Narkotinsky Rabochi, the Egyptian newspaper Al-Masiriyah, the Indian newspapers New Delhi Times, Krishna Evota and Passion India, the Algerian newspaper Al-Masr, and the Bulgarian newspaper Novo Rabotnichesko Delo carried articles praising the exploits performed by Kim Jong-il for the cause of party building. The Russian and Indian newspapers carried his photographs. Al-Baath, the organ of the Arab Socialist Baath Party of Syria, and North, the organ of the Communist Party, Unity of Syria, and the New Worker, the organ of the New Communist Party of Britain, carried articles praising immortal exploits performed by Kim Jong-il for the strengthening and development of the Workers' Party of Korea on the occasion of the 70th of his start of work at the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. The home visiting group of students at Korean high schools in Japan, led by Kim Young-sun, principal of the Osaka Korean High School, laid bouquets before the bronze statues of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on Mansu Hill and paid homage to them on the 27th. Respected Marshal Kim Jong-un sent birthday praise to Kim Il-sung Prize winner Moon Jae-sun, poet of the Central Committee of the Riders Union of Korea, and labor hero Cho Tae-hyun, worker of the Hunan Fertilizer Complex, on the occasion of their 70th birthday. DPRK Premier Park Sung-joo made a field survey of the Simcoe Pelagic Fishery Complex. She went round various fishing boats of the pelagic fleet and angling tackle show, and learned in detail about the fishing conditions, fishing waters, and fishing methods, and encouraged the fishermen. A consultative meeting of fishery officials in the East Coastal area was held on the spot, in which necessary measures were taken. Premier Park called upon the Simcoe Pelagic Fishery Complex turned into a powerful fishery hub under the wise leadership of the great generalissimos Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il and respected Marshal Kim Jong-un to defend and glorify the leadership exploits of the Workers' Party of Korea. Mass rallies were held in South Korea and North Korean provinces Friday on the occasion of the June 25th day of the struggle against U.S. imperialism. Present at the rallies were officials of the local party, government and economic organs, working people's organizations, working people of different tribes, and youth and students. Speakers at the rallies said, 64 years ago, the U.S. imperialists committed unprecedented crimes by mobilizing their huge armed forces of aggression, the South Korean Pact Army and forces of 15 satellite countries, in an attempt to destroy the young DPRK in its cradle and realize their ambition for world domination. They stressed the need to win the final victory in the showdown with the United States that lasts century after century, and accomplish the historic cause of national reunification. The rallies were followed by anti-U.S. demonstrations. The Samsung Wharf has been built in South Gyeongan province of Korea and inaugurated on the 27th. It will greatly slacken the tension of transport of materials such as fuel, cement, and grains, and passengers between Samsun, Pyongyang, and Nampo. DPRC weightlifter Kim Soo-jung trailed fourth in Tokyo in the women's 75-kilogram event of the 2014 World Youth Weightlifting Championship, which started in Kazan of Russia on the 25th, winning 2 gold medals and 1 silver medal. Kim Cho-sim finished second in Tokyo in the women's 63-kilogram event. 13-year-old girl Yoo Byul-mi of Korea, who was invited to the second Greatest International Piano Festival, performed twice on the 17th and the 20th. She wonderfully performed masterpieces created by world-famous composers with high artistry and won great applause of the audience. The festival was held in Denmark between June the 17th and 22nd. Invited there were the DPRC's father, Yoo Byul-mi, and famous instrumentalists and promising little ones from 7 countries, including Russia, Germany, and Italy. The DPRC took part in the festival for the first time. The spokesman for the Central Committee of the Trade Union of Education and Culture of Korea issued a press statement on Friday, denouncing the South Korean Foreign Administrative Court for its repressive tyranny of declaring illegalization of the teachers' union involving teachers of the South Korean primary, middle, and high schools, and depriving it of its legitimate status. The press statement said, "The Teachers' Union is a progressive educational organization which was founded in 1989, gained legitimate status of a trade union in 1999, through an indomitable struggle despite the vicious office suppression of the public authorities, and led the educational movement and struggle for independence, democracy, and reunification in South Korea over the past 15 years. Especially the Teachers' Union, defying the obstructive movements of the conservatives, conducted sensitive educational activities to educate the school children in the excellence of the nation and persevere on history and implant consciousness of reunification in them. The organization also devotedly worked for strengthening of solidarity between the educators of the North and the South and for peace and reunification of the country." Today in South Korea, whether to defend the Teachers' Union or not is a serious and important issue concerning whether democracy of society is achieved or not. The South Korean people of both sections must rise up in a just struggle against the anti-democratic tyranny of the forces to violate the legitimate right to education, trampling down the sacred campus, and for the defense of the Teachers' Union. Will in the future too extend active support and encouragement to the activities of the South Korean Teachers' Union for social democracy, peace, and independent reunification against foreign forces and for genuine education, the press statement stressed. The organ of the Central Standing Committee of the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan, Chosun Sinbo, held an APSO on the 25th. The APSO held that the Korean War in the 50s of the last century was a war of aggression which was provoked according to the scenario specifically planned and prepared by the United States in a bid to dominate the whole Korean peninsula, and condemned the Obama administration and Park Geun-hye of South Korea for following in its footsteps. Vice Chairman of the General Association of Koreans in China issued a press statement exposing the atrocities committed by the U.S. imperialists for 3 years of the Korean War and calling for turning out in the struggle to smash their nuclear weapons and drive the U.S. forces out of South Korea. The South Korean internet newspaper Voice of People ran an editorial on the 25th condemning Park Geun-hye for a wrong designation of candidate for the Prime Minister. It also carried an editorial on the 26th exposing the Group of Seven, a secret organization which exercises power with the backing of the present ruler. The editorial also exposed another organization called Man Man-ho, involving Park Jae-man, one brother of Park Geun-hye, Lee Jae-man, Secretary of the Blue House for General Affairs, and Chung Yong-hye, former advisor to Park Geun-hye. More than 150 passengers of different tribes and elders in South Korea held a press conference in Seoul on the 26th, warning subsequent relations personnel affairs of Park Geun-hye. That day, they marched up to the integrated government building. The South Korean newspaper Hangyeong and internet newspaper Voice of People carried editorial, and the Measure Council for the Volunteers for Issue and the Citizens Solidarity for Democratic Society of South Korea released a statement and a commentary in denunciation of the despicable attempt of the Japanese authorities to distort the essence of the Goner Talk, which, though partially admitted the crimes of sex slavery committed by the Japanese imperialists. The Bulgaria Korea Friendship Association issued a bulletin on the 20th on the occasion of the Month of International Solidarity with the Korean people. The bulletin edited an article supporting the struggle of the Korean people for firmly defending the sovereignty of the country and socialism from all sorts of challenges of the U.S. imperialists and their followers. The crucial report of the Southwestern Front Command of the Korean People's Army. What we are waiting for is only the order of the Supreme Command to strike the provocateur, was reported on the 26th by the Chinese Xinhua News Agency, People's Network, and News Network, the Russian Bartek, the US AP, and the Japanese Gyoba News and Nihongo Shimbun. And that's the end of the news read by Lee Hyung-sung and Kim Jong-il, the Voice of Korea. The Daily Rodong Shimbun carried a commentary on Saturday under the title, Talk About Threat for Maintenance of Supremacy. The commentary said, it is generally recognized that the United States is losing its supremacy on the international arena. The Obama administration is panic-stricken with it. So it is recently boastful about threat from the DPLK. It is loudly talking about our threat often and further exaggerated than the previous time. It is to make soldiers feel a strong threat from us and keep trapped with the U.S. troops. Among these mouthpieces of the U.S. rulers is Russell, U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for East Asian and Pacific Affairs. Some time ago, Russell invited representatives of South Korea to Washington and talking about our nuclear and missile threat, called for joint investment in building a U.S.-led U.S.-Japan-South Korea information network and in the missile defense system to be deployed in South Korea. The United States is talking about our threat for whipping up its soldiers. Russell vociferated about military cooperation between the United States, Japan, and South Korea, while loudly talking about our threat. It is a manifestation of the U.S. dishonest attempt to more deeply implicate Japan and the South Korean puppets in its struggles to substitute the DPLK. The United States should clearly know that it cannot restore its losing hegemonic position, no matter how loudly it may talk about our threat. The United States should clearly know where it stands and act with discretion. That was the commentary under the title, Talk About Threat for Maintenance of Supremacy, held in the Daily Rodong Shimbun on Saturday. This is Voice of Korea.
Please enjoy the song, We Cannot Live Without Him. Recalling our past and thinking of our future, we keep his sun-like smile. Supporting only him to the end of the earth, we will be loyal to him. We cannot live without him, Kim Jong-un. We cannot live without him, our destiny, Kim Jong-un. We cannot live without him.
비들미 들려 정도 온다 가슴에서 모두 꽃피네 그의 옷처럼 진정한다네 그의 옷처럼 우리의 모습 우리 김도는 당대 그의 웃으면 우린 못 살아 Please enjoy your violin ensemble. Joyful is my mind. Quartet, You Are Our Mother. Winifred of Premier, sextet, icing of the party. rules of international law. Ji Kyung-chul, second chief of the Royal Institute of the Academy of Social Sciences, said,
전쟁이 없는 자유롭고 평화로운 세계에서 화목하게 사는 인류 공동 시행과 융합하는데요. 국제법 분야에서는 전쟁을 금지하고 또
Many international legal documents were adopted to prohibit war and protect the lives and property and health of civilians to the maximum in wartime, representing the common desire and demand of humanity to live harmoniously in a free and peaceful world without war. Typical of them are the Hague Treaty of 1907, the Geneva Protocol of 1925, and the Geneva Convention of 1949. Those conventions ban the slaughter and torture of peaceful inhabitants, the use of germ and chemical weapons, and the maltreatment of prisoners of war, the wounded, women, and children during the war. The United States did not observe any of those norms of the wartime international laws during the past Korean War.
During the Korean War in the past 1930s, the U.S. imperialist aggressors killed a lot of innocent Koreans in the most barbarous and cruel way ever known in the world history of war. For 3 days alone, on October the 18th, the 19th, and the 23rd, July 39 or 1950, during the occupation of states and counties, the American beef massacred more than 1,550 innocent people in the air raid shelter of the County Party Committee and nearby trenches, of whom over 950 were women, old people, and children. During the occupation, they murdered 26,000 plus infants and women in the county. The U.S. imperialists not only maltreated the prisoners of war of our side, but also killed hundreds or thousands of them a day without hesitation at many concentration camps, including some 20 on Kruger Island. Especially the germ warfare conducted by the U.S. imperialists in Korea clearly shows that they are at a loss who leave no stone unturned to realize their aggressive purpose. At the time, the U.S. imperialist group expanded the local germ warfare into an all-out-one part of the regular operations in a bid to recover their defects and roll back a part of war. From early January, when they started all-out germ warfare, to March 41 or 1952, they dropped various kinds of micro bombs in 169 regions of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea on a total of 804 occasions, irrespective of the heartlands and coastal areas, fields and mountains, and big and small villages and towns. As a result, lots of people suffered from the insects infected with the germs. A report of investigation made by the Commission of the International Association of Democratic Lawyers, which came to Korea during the war, said the Commission says without hesitation that most of the crimes could not be committed without complete approval and plan of the leaders of the U.S. government and the Supreme Command of the U.S. forces. Accordingly, the Commission indicts those persons, all the commanding officers on the front responsible for their crimes, and all individual soldiers who accepted and executed the orders contradicting the international laws. As historical facts show, the United States is the kingdom of crimes that resorts to all sorts of high-handed practices, abrogating international laws at will for its aggressive purpose. The U.S. imperialists are a group of cruel outlaws who cannot live under the same sky with the honest-minded people of the world. So far, you've been listening to an account under the title Cruel Beasts, Defiance of International Laws. This is Voice of Korea.
Now you will appreciate the piano concerto to a decisive battle. conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Southeast Asia between 5 and 6 hours UTC on 13,650 kHz and 15,105 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz and 13,650 kHz. For Middle East and Northern Africa between 16 and 17 hours UTC on 9,890 kHz and 11,645 kHz, and between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 9,875 kHz and 11,635 kHz. For Southern Africa between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 7,210 kHz and 11,910 kHz. And for Central and South Americas between 4 and 5 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz, 13,760 kHz, and 15,180 kHz. And between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,710 kHz and 15,180 kHz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.